Hello. Okay, so I have just a moment to pop on, but I wanted to pop on and talk about something completely, totally different than what I usually talk about. And I'm going to talk about fragrance. So I learned some little tips and tricks on fragrances and how to pick fragrances and how to wear fragrances. So I wanted to share them with you guys. If y'all pop on, say hi. I'm not going to be answering a whole lot of questions because I don't have very long to pop on. But I did want to pop on real fast while my son is occupied. He's right here with me eating some popcorn. So I'm going to talk about fragrances. Look how cute this little bottle is. And are y'all digging my, like, I look like a fortune teller or something. But this is called My Hair is Dirty and I Don't Have Time to Wash It. So we're going to talk about fragrances. So here's some things I learned. I'm just going to dive right in and just talk really fast. So bear with me. So I found out, and actually I have music going, but it's distracting me. I found out there are 6 different categories when it comes to fragrances. And so I'm just going to kind of name them off to you. The first category is citrus. Of course, when you think of citrus, you think of fresh, fruity, obviously, and very light, kind of spicy. The second one is floral. Obviously, floral is it's the largest category in the perfume industry. And obviously, floral is exactly what it says. Some can be simple like roses, and some can be like bouquets. So obviously, florals are going to be your biggest category. Then you have woody. Woody is like an intimate, warm, it can range from light to rich. So it could be light woods to those really deep, rich woods. And then you have something called Chypre or Chypre. I'm not sure how I'm saying that. This is actually a fragrance that's 100 years old. It is actually, the person who created it, he created it from all the smells from the island of Cyprus. And so that's where that comes from. And it's the most popular. Hey, Brooke, I don't have a lot of time, but if you're on, when it gets to like 35 after, please tell me. So I don't have very long. But Chypre, the most popular fragrance is going to be your Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. So if you're familiar with that, that is a Chypre or Chypre. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyways, so, and then you have your last but not least, you have your Oriental category, which is woods, vanilla, musk, all the things you think of when you think of like an Oriental fragrance. And by the way, you guys, y'all like my shirt? It says, love me like Jack loves Rebecca. I love that show and I love this shirt. Shout out to Rad Vibes for my shirt. Totally digging it today. Okay. Okay, so I went through the categories of fragrances, and I'm going to kind of tell you a little correlation. So you can think of fragrances like you think of shoes, okay? So there's different categories of shoes, just like there's different categories of fragrances, but then it breaks it down even more than that. So you have like boots, but what kind of boots? High heel boots, flat, ankle boots, heel boots, cowboy boots. Do you see what I'm saying? So you may have an Oriental fragrance, but then what kind? There's different notes, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Or you have high heels, so you have like pumps, open toes, wedge, stilettos. You see what I'm saying? Sandals. What kind of sandals? What kind of sneakers? You know? So the list goes on, and that's a nice way for you to kind of get that visual for fragrances. I have some little notes here, so bear with me. I was super intrigued by this. All right, so if you're not familiar with fragrances, but as they dry, they kind of go through 3 different levels. And by the way, whatever your favorite fragrance is, pop it below. When I think of fragrance, is there like a fragrance that takes you back in time to a certain time in your life? For me, this is like my favorite. I think, is this Viva La? No, this is Couture. This is Juicy Couture. Juicy Couture is my fave. So this is Juicy Couture. And then I went on to the Juicy Couture Noir. Or Viva La Juicy, I think it may be. And then right now I'm doing 1,000 Wishes. This is a body spray. But anyways, let me check the time real fast. Okay. All right, I have like 10 more minutes to talk. So basically there's 3 stages. Hi, boo-boos. There are 3 stages when it comes to perfume. Goodness. Oh my goodness. So basically you're going to have, as they dry, they go in stages, and I'm going to kind of talk about that. So the top note is the first smell that you smell. So you're going to smell, that's going to last 5 to 10 minutes, and that's usually the bright, fresh, greeny stuff that you smell. Then you have a middle note, or the heart notes as they're called. That's the hook and the personality of your fragrance. That's going to last anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours, just depending on the fragrance, depending on how you wear it. And those are the woody and floral and fruity smells. So those are the heart notes. And y'all, I didn't know any of this. This stuff has totally intrigued me. Then your last step or stage of your perfume is your base or your bottom note. These are the lasting impressions of your fragrances and the anchor of your fragrances. These are going to last anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, and these are like your warm, woody, musky, amber, creamy tones depending on your fragrance. So I'm actually going to kind of, let's see, did I talk about that? Yeah, I talked about the different kinds of fragrances, so if you're popping on, you'll have to go back and watch it. And then I want to talk about tips and tricks on how to wear your fragrances, okay? I've been wearing fragrances wrong this whole time. So basically, you want to wear, and I know you guys are probably familiar, but you want to wear, and I'm just going to kind of use my body spray, you want to wear your fragrances on your pulse points. So obviously, your wrist, behind your ears, your neck, or somebody said all the places you like to be kissed. That's kind of cool. It's perfume. But when you spray, so I'm going to spray some on my pulse point, a lot of people go like this. Don't do that. Because actually when you're rubbing it together, you are actually breaking down the molecules of that fragrance, and you're actually disturbing it. And you're actually, when you're rubbing it, it's going to break it down. It's not going to smell the same. So spray it and leave it. Okay? So basically on your pulse points, you know that the fragrance is going to interact with your different chemical, and it smells different on everybody, and actually it depends on your chemical makeup that day in your body on how your fragrance is going to smell. Another cool trick is to moisturize your skin. Fragrances actually do better on moisturized skin. I didn't know this. I would think, okay, it's dry, it's going to soak in. No. Moisturize your skin, then apply your fragrance. It's going to help it last all day. You'll get the best effect out of it. And then another one, obviously, is your waterfall. Spray it, walk into it, okay? So those are some neat tricks and tips. And oh, actually, I have some more. Sorry. So another thing is a lot of people like to take their fragrances and store them on a cutesy little tray, and they're beautiful, but you want to make sure that you keep them out of direct sunlight and just light in general. The best tip is to store them in the packaging, put them in a cabinet, or or just somewhere that's dark. If you want to have them out to where you can see them, then just store them somewhere where they don't get direct sunlight or just direct light from your lighting in your house. And another cool trick is you can actually refrigerate fragrances. It's supposed to help them last longer, and I'm sure it's got a nice cooling effect. So those are just some fun little things that I learned about fragrances. I had no clue before, and I thought I'd share, because I share all things beauty related, and who doesn't love perfume? And did you know that the average woman has anywhere from 5 to 7 perfumes? So, basically, just like there's different types of perfume, there's different types of moods. You can switch your perfume, depends on the time of year. So, I wear perfumes depending on the time of year. It depends on the occasion for your perfume. Your personality that day, they're just like shoes. So I'm bringing back that shoe analogy to correlate with the fragrances. So yeah, different times of year, I may wear cowboy boots. I may want something, maybe going out the evening and want something that's like a woody smell, or if date night you're going to want something that's more warm and suede and sensual, or just summertime. That makes me think of fruits and floral. So whenever you think about fragrance, think about shoes. And fragrance is meant to be worn, you guys. If you're storing it, wear it. So anyways, I just thought that was something super fun to talk about. I'm actually going to go live on it with a second live in my private boutique group to kind of talk about some things further. I have some exciting things to talk about. So you can meet me there probably in about the next 30 or so minutes. But yeah. Oh, and I did want to point out, I don't know if y'all caught my live from my brand new pressed shadows, but I applied these on Sunday at 3 o'clock. I have taken showers, done laundry, bathed children, cleaned the house, you name it, I've done it, and look, there's still some remaining. Amazing. All right, you guys, I have to hop off of here, but if you find any of this information valuable, just hit the little share button. I would absolutely love that so other people can learn about fragrances. Yeah, if you're just popping on, catch the replay, hashtag replay so I know that you watched, and I'll talk to you later.